Chapter-2. Renee. Renee smiled as she woke to the sun peeking in her window. The memories of last night reignited in her mind, causing a satisfied sigh to slip past her lips. She'd spent the evening with Garrett just watching movies and talking, and even though he said he still wasn't ready for something serious, she could feel their relationship changing, and she didn't think it would be long before he was. She reached for her phone to see if he had texted, but there was nothing. That stung a little, but he didn't have the day off today like she did, so perhaps he just hadn't had time yet. Maybe he'd been running late this morning, or he'd gotten called into a consult right away. She could understand that, so she sent off a quick text just thanking him for the previous night and wishing him a good day. Then she returned her phone to her nightstand and stretched her arms over her head. She'd take a shower and fix herself some breakfast. Surely Garrett would have a chance to see her message and reply by then. When she was showered and dressed, she grabbed her phone, checking it one more time before heading into the kitchen. Still nothing. She got the coffee going and then made herself an omelet and some toast. Then she opened her Bible to do her morning devotion as she ate. She didn't often get this quiet time in the mornings, and her devotion had to wait until she got off. But she definitely liked it better in the morning. It made her feel more connected and recharged for the day. When she was finished with her devotion, she checked her phone again and saw there was still no response from Garrett. Though she knew it could be nothing, he might just be really busy today, a sick sensation erupted in her stomach. She knew it risked coming across as creepy, but she dialed the hospital.
Fire Beach Hospital, how can I direct your call?
Hi, this is Renee Mackey. I'm a nurse in pediatrics. Can you tell me if Dr. Young is in today?
Just a second, please.
Renee chewed on her bottom lip as the sound of clacking computer keys filled the silence.
I'm sorry, it looks like Dr. Young never made it in today. Dr. Collins is on shift. Do you need him?
No, thank you. Do you know if Dr. Young called in sick? Renee doubted the receptionist was allowed to tell her that, but it couldn't hurt to ask.
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to give out that information.
That's okay, thank you. So Garrett wasn't at work, and while she supposed he could be homesick, she rather doubted it. First, he'd seemed healthy enough last night when she'd been at his house. They'd even shared an amazing kiss, a toe-tingling, mind-numbing, firework-worthy kiss. One that Renee could not wait to repeat, one that they'd planned to repeat tonight after work, so she highly doubted he wouldn't have called to tell her he was sick. Second, unless he was just dead to the world, he would have heard her text message and would have replied. Maybe he wasn't sick, but injured. Maybe he'd fallen and hit his head and was bleeding out on his floor right now. She'd only been to his place once before, but she was certain she could find it, and someone had to check on him. She grabbed her purse and keys and locked the door behind her. As soon as she stepped out of the apartment door, she could feel it, the uneasy feeling that she was being watched. It was probably Chris again. He'd made it known the last few weeks that he knew most of her comings and goings, which was creepy. Emma swore he was harmless, and he'd always seemed harmless, but Renee couldn't help but wonder if he had something to do with this. She knew he hadn't liked seeing her with Garrett, and while she didn't think Chris could physically harm Garrett, he would definitely be her top suspect if something had happened to Garrett. She breathed a sigh of relief when she reached her car without incident, but as she neared Garrett's house, the unease grew. What if he really was sick, and she came across looking like a stalker? Or worse, What if the kiss had been terrible for him, and now he decided he didn't want to continue dating her, but just didn't know how to tell her? Neither rang true for her, so she continued on, and when she reached his house and saw his truck was gone, she was filled with both a sense of relief and fear. If he wasn't at home and he wasn't at work, where was he? Perhaps it was something simple, like he'd had car trouble and was at a shop somewhere waiting for his truck to be fixed. But that wouldn't explain him not returning her text. Was it possible he'd gotten in another accident on the way to work and was lying in a ditch somewhere? She shuddered at the thought. Or what if he'd been lying about wanting to be exclusive, and he was at some other woman's place? That could certainly explain why he wasn't answering his phone, and while that scenario didn't make her feel good, it was better than the last scenario, the one she didn't want to think about. She scanned the streets as she stepped out of her car and locked the door. His neighborhood was safe and quiet, and today there were few cars on the street. She walked up to the front door and tried the knob, but it was locked. The curtains were also closed, so there was nothing to see, at least from this side. She made her way around the house, hoping perhaps he'd left the sliding glass door open, or the curtain pulled back at least. But it, too, was locked and covered. Should she try to break in to check on him? No, that didn't seem like the smartest idea, especially with his brother being a cop. There was no way she could check every auto shop, but she could at least check the route he would have taken to the hospital and see if she could see an accident. If that gave her nothing, then she'd have to find Clay. She didn't know him well, but she knew he would help her. As she climbed back in her car, she wasn't sure which would be worse: finding Garrett in a bad enough accident that he couldn't call for help, or not finding him at all. "Lord, let him be okay," she prayed softly as she headed toward the hospital. The route there wasn't long or especially dangerous, but she kept her eyes peeled. Nothing. She supposed he could have taken a different route, but she doubted it. He was still learning the city. She pulled into the hospital parking lot to turn around, but before she did, something caught her eye, and the feeling of dread in her stomach grew. Garrett's truck was parked in his normal spot. But if he'd made it to work, where was he now? He obviously hadn't gotten far enough inside to clock in, so something must have happened to him in the parking lot. It was time to get the police involved. When she reached the police station, she took a deep breath before going inside. The station was a small, square building that looked like it hadn't been renovated in ages. And when she opened the door, she felt like she'd been transported back in time. The interior was all brown and beige, and the computers she could see were still huge desktops, rather than the sleek laptops they had at the hospital. "Can I help you?" The woman behind the desk was older with chin-length gray hair. The lines on her face told the story of a hard life, but her eyes were kind. Renee stepped up to the desk. "Can I speak with Clay Young, please?" The woman tilted her head as if trying to decide the purpose of Renee's visit. "I believe Officer Young is out on patrol. Is there something I can help you with?" "I don't know. I need to tell him that I think his brother is missing."